Alright, this is part 4 of the videos on the Chinese vertical axis wind turbines. Okay, after doing a lot of research, talking to people, I've got 3 of them. I've got one, 2 of my friends that got them. They don't work. Here's the conclusion that we've come to. On a lot of the videos that you see on YouTube, you see these guys putting a drill to these motors, and they're actually putting out some voltage. Well, the problem with that is the way these turbines are set up, these blades cannot reach anything over about 150 to 200 revolutions per minute. Yesterday I had pretty good wind. I've got one of these vertical and I've got one horizontal. The horizontal was spinning like crazy with 20-mile-an-hour winds. You couldn't even see the blades, just looked like a blur, and it was producing about 15 to 16 amps. The horizontal or the vertical one was spinning like crazy, but I could still see the blades. It was producing nothing. So basically the conclusion I've come out with is you can do all the reading you want to on the horizontal axis wind turbines because they have to be somewhere around 600 RPMs per minute to start producing power. When they start getting up over 600 revolutions per minute, they produce power. Well, these vertical axis wind turbines, they can't get up to those RPMs, so they basically produce nothing. But like I said, if you see the videos where these guys are putting drills on these motors, they're spinning them at 600, 800, 1,000 RPMs per minute, and yes, they will produce power. But on the low end, no, they won't. So it is impossible for these things to produce any power because, like I said, the most they can reach from what I've been reading is 150 to 200 revolutions per minute. That's all they can produce. At that speed, they are not going to produce anything. You got to realize one thing. When you got a horizontal wind turbine, as the wind comes through, it pushes right through the blades and just keeps on going. With these vertical axis wind turbines, it's pushing the blades on one side, but the other blade is coming towards the wind, so they'll never reach any kind of high RPMs, any way you can set up the design. And I've looked at hundreds of these designs that they've put on YouTube, different ones with thin blades, wide blades, this kind of blade, that kind of blade, using 50-gallon drum barrels for wings and all that kind of like that. There isn't a one of them out there that states that they produce any power whatsoever. None whatsoever. And like I said, I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research on this stuff. They flat don't work. Do not buy one. The only way these things could work is if the Chinese or somebody would come up with some kind of gearbox where you could reduce it from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 or something like that. In other words, the motor with the blades is turning, say, like 150 RPMs, and you put some kind of a gear reduction box on there to get it to go, say, it comes into blades at 1 but goes out the bottom to the motor at 5, then you're hitting maybe 750 to 1,000 revolutions per minute, and the motor would probably work. But as of this point right now, I have not seen anything like that. I've seen a couple guys with verticals using generator heads like in a car, and there's one guy on there that's got the generator attached sideways, alternator I should say, and then he's got a big wheel with a regular rubber belt that's going down to it. It looks like it's probably 10 to 1, and he says that it produces power, but he said it takes serious wind, 20, 25 mile an hour, to get his turbine going. Once it reaches that big peak, then it will produce power, but on the low end it doesn't. So, like I said, stay away from these things. They're junk until someone can come up with some kind of an idea to put a reduction or increase the reduction on these things to make them like 1 to 5 blades down to the motor. Then they might possibly work. But until you see that day, these things are not going to happen. Believe me. Talk to you later. See you later. Say goodbye, Mel. Goodbye.